as we welcome you to Equinox 2021. Allowing yourself just to arrive and open. I'm so glad you're here. If you've been doing the temple teachings with us, I would also encourage you maybe to set up your own throne now. To sit in that place of just you receiving today, of you being the highest authority of you. So that all of these energies are going through this beautiful pillar that is you. Connecting to earth and to sky, to galactic, to inner earth. Thanks. Before we get started, they would like you to give permission to receive all the way through your feet. Have you been playing with that yet? Dr. Carmen brought that in for us in the podcast that we did. And many times we have a tendency to be very open at head and very open in the higher chakras, but they would like you to dip all the way down now. And if you're willing to participate today in what blesses you, blesses the all. So that these frequencies may come out through us. So that all of the blessings that we receive can go through that Akashic field, affecting not only people that we love and people we're connected to, but that it may even make a bigger ripple. That we give these blessings, we give these places of relief and tenderness to the planet, to our race. Because I'm sure that you know we are certainly in the dark ages. This is what I'm calling this time right now. And the dark ages, right on the other side is enlightenment, right? So the times right now that we're in, they are thick and they are ugly and they are repulsive and they are fucking hard. And I don't know anyone who is not facing something right now. So please know this is not personal. Please know that this is in every way. It's collapsing everything in your reality that's keeping you from greater joy. So please remember that for each loss. And if you worked with Remington yesterday in his Equinox teachings, he suggests that this time of year is also when you do an accounting of everything. What is it that you have and what is it that you want? I like the physicality of doing that, and I will certainly encourage that. Because the equinox is on the 22nd, so we're doing this today and getting that energy moving. You may choose to engage more deeply or go through this again on the 22nd. Because the challenges that we're facing today, 21st, 22nd, we're like, fucking done with that. Close chapter, bitches. Not doing that shit anymore. So a lot of what we're going to be doing today is the reset. Because I'm done with that shit. I faced it. I did real good. I'm not going to keep facing it. So today we get to go more fully into our joy into the next chapter. This is what the equinox is about. We're taking the burdens of those heart. The burdens of the heart that you have been facing have confused you, have made you doubt yourself, have made you doubt your faith, have made that path in front of you even look harder. So we're going to be shedding that today, honey. Because I want to bring you back to the truth of you. And that truth of you is not only that you are magnificent and stunning and gorgeous. That truth of you is that you came here with something super fucking important to do. Because you're the creator of a new reality. And yeah, these times are hard, but whenever all of that is going on outside of you, guess what? There's a lot of powers that are being dropped where we're like, oh, I'll take that, and I'll take that, and I'll take that. The power for creation is equal to the power of destruction. So now we get to realign of like, oh, I'm fucking here for something real good. I remember. And I do remember because I've been in the shitstorm of summer as well. I remember what I'm here for. And I'm like, oh, this is good again. So I want you to commit to joy. Did you feel like joy was something we just didn't get for a while? Joy is the truth of our existence. Joy is the reason that we're here. And this is an abundant and loving universe. And that's also what we're going to be connecting back into today. So Hey, Equinox. I think this vernal equinox has now become my favorite thing. Last year, oh, I had so much fun. I have never experienced it that way. So thank you, Remington, because his teachings, his guardianship through these portals has certainly shifted how I participate. Because as we get to these equinoxes, as we get to any of the holy days, they are junctures, both in a calendar but also in markings of the year. And most of us here are women, and we know that there's something in these cycles that we do that offers predictability and offers hope. So we know that anytime things are hard, well, they don't stay there because something shifts. And this is the blessing of equinox as well. This is a threshold that we're crossing into something new. And specifically with the vernal equinox, I like to hang out in the 0 point. There's this really cool thing that happens as you cross through that doorway into something else. It's a reset, threshold into the next chapters. And we're going to practice this quite a bit today because it's both a suspension of things, but it also, as we're crossing through that, we have an opportunity to let everything go. Heard kino sa lei'nai ikeke no sano kuku shina inai la aki. Heard lekina sano shana ilina na iki. Death. We need to talk about death a little bit. Because death is very present on our planet and likely will be. And what you're watching on our planet is everyone's response to their fear of death. What do you think the fuck is going on out there? Everything that is going on is because people don't want to die. Why are we so scared of this thing? So I'm just kind of stepping back a little bit and untangling it for myself. And what is all of this fear? It's the fear of death. Do we really need to be that scared of death? Because death, if we are beings who know that we're on a continuum, cool, it's just another threshold, another doorway. And I don't mean to be casual about it because it causes grief and it's painful and it's scary. Yes, yes. And the void is really juicy. So maybe allow yourself some time in these next couple of days to oh, sugar, curl up in that void and remember how good it is. Thank you, Camille. I know, little Scorpio sister over there. Some of us can do void easier where it's oh, yeah. And I want to invite you into this and recognizing that death is all around us. And it's not always physical. Sometimes it's metaphysical. Sometimes it's spiritual. But this fear is really what's underneath things and being able to give compassion to that. So when you are being triggered by people or when people are bringing up what you should be doing, what is it that you're so scared of in there? And offering that as just an current of love. It's really what we're seeing. A lot of fear. Fear of what? Okay. So today we're going to be giving some things to the void. It's a death process that we engage in. And we here in the mysteries, when we actively engage in death processes, oh goodness, then the big one doesn't feel like so much because we know where we go and we know we come back. This is what we're practicing. So today is being set up for us as an opportunity to unburden our hearts. Because our hearts have been heavy. And when our hearts are heavy, we get a little confused in what we're doing here. If your heart is free, you will be empowered. Thank you, Remington. And we're going to start with this concept of the Egyptian heart today. Because the Egyptian heart is going to be very different than the heart in other systems. So the Egyptian energetics, you might have worked with us in Dream School, the Shankas. The Shankas, circuits of eternity, not a chakra. Circuit of eternity, already built into that concept. I'm here for a long time. This is eternity. This is not YOLO. The chakras of YOLO. No. We're here much longer than this. We better practice how to come into the elements in this way. And so the Shankas, the Egyptian system of understanding these energy centers, is a system of embodying the elements and the cosmos. So the heart. We're going to be working with a lot with your heart today. And it's funny because really the second half is all journey work. So we're just getting some concepts and ideas set up so your brain feels safe enough to check out. I want you to just tap into your heart now. Good. As we remind it through the Egyptian perspective, it's just a different lens of what it is. It's a cosmic portal. Its color is clear light. It's limitless. It's infinite. It's beyond all time and space. That's cute. They say even that idea of falling in love, right? All of a sudden, like you were in a new reality. As soon as you fall in love, everything shifts and everything changes, bringing that innocence back to your heart. Now, lo sanai la ukuku li ikiki. So you remember that opportunity for totally new is available to you in every breath and every beat of your heart. The Egyptian word for heart, we will work, of course, with our hekaus. The hekaus are the sacred words, the sounds, the seeds, the directives. So the name for heart is Ab. We're going to begin chanting Ab. 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 Asking everything in this heart to realign with the sacred and the divine. Ab. Ab. Ab translates not only as physical heart, as courage, as desires. And for the Egyptians, they had 10 aspects of soul. So heart is also an aspect of soul. It's the soul of your heart. Ab. 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 And just as you chant, seeing how it feels in your body, Ab. 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 And as we chant Ab, it is a source code. It is the directive, primary directive that at a cosmic level calls all of the truth of your heart back to you. Ab. All dreams and desires and everything you've ever wanted. Ab. 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 And we're going to bring in now this idea of Ba. 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 Oh, isn't that cute? Hey, Ba. Ba is not heart. Ba is another aspect of soul, but it's your personal soul. Not quite highest self, but it's probably in pretty good conjunction with highest self. The Ba. 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 The hieroglyph for Ba is a bird, so you can also hear ba, 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 ba. It's the bird. It's the mind of the soul. It's the one who gives understanding. But as I was sitting with Ba last night, Ba, the middle self, if you went through inner space with us, Ba experiences joy as it is brought to earth. Ba. And I loved that. Ba. Ba is the one who experiences things. Ba is the one who perceives and understands and translates things. Ba. 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 And chanting these things, we begin to pull from a cosmic source, not just a human source. We're calling from the infinite beyond this realm and time. Ha. Le no kuku. Heki no sono kuku. And calling these two aspects of soul back to you, we've got the Ab and the Ba, realigning themselves here within your energy field. I want you to come into breath. And I want you to pay attention to the place between your breath, between the inhale and the exhale. Between the exhale and the inhale. And maybe you can pause there for a minute. Because this is where we're going to experience the void in that turn, in that suspension between. I really like working with a trampoline for this because you can experience that suspension, the place that's between. It's the zero gravity point. And I want us to hang out. Look. Thanks, that's cute. They're like, no, Andy doesn't want anything. I don't want you to do anything. They want to give you an experience now of going into the void consciously. So maybe do hold your breath at the top or the bottom. Notice what comes up for you. Breathing anytime you want to. And just recognizing that panic that sometimes comes up in our body whenever we're not breathing. And when you feel the panic, see if you can relax into it. The more we can work with that 0 point, the turn or the suspension, that's our magic spot today. That's our magic equinox portal. So yeah, cool. And what I want you to recognize as you sit in that suspension, this is where you can unburden from the stories, the limitations, the patterns. Oh, I heard you guys, the genetics. You don't have any genetic limitations? From the people and the situations. So you may, between now and the 22nd, between now and the actual equinox, make a list of all the things you want to get rid of. I will be making a list of all the things I've gotten rid of because that is massive. What we have lost in this last year or between the equinoxes is massive. Maybe it's time to do an accounting of what has been gotten rid of so your heart can be unburdened from it. Maybe everything that you've lost is the burden on your heart. But we're going to be consciously using this space in between, not only with our every breath, but with our Abba that we're about to do, to reaffirm your reality. Because the truth of reality is we live in an abundant universe that loves you, that created you in perfection to be here right now. Everything in all of the galaxies is celebrating what humans are doing. And it's only the humans who are trapped in some illusions here that are really creating some shitstorm for the rest of us. And then there's 7 billion of us with great powers that are coming online where we're like, why are you guys, why are the bullies running everything? That doesn't seem to make any sense anymore. Cool. Oh, honey, all about to change. Okay, let's get into our first activation then. Thanks. Would you locate in your body where that Ba wants to be? Ba is usually going to be in heart. You could see it as a bird. I won't tell you how you'll see it. You'll see it. Ba. 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 Yeah. Ba. And I want you to activate now. Ba. Just bringing your awareness into heart. Abba. And Abba, when we put it together this way, means to open a doorway, to clear the channels to the true cosmic heart. Abba. To unite heart and soul. Abba. Abba. And chanting it for yourself aloud is what activates this for you. Abba. 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 And I want you to feel this, Abba. Not only clearing your heart, Abba, but that space between the B and the B, Abba. That pause in between is the 0 point where you let it all go. Abba. Abba. We take it off of this heart. We give it back to Soul, who already remembers what we are and why we're here, and remembers the joy and the ease. Abba. 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 And I want you to recognize this energy is kind of around your chest. It's not an up and down energy. It's instead an in and out. Weaving from your personal heart to your cosmic heart, to the truth of who you are within the Akashic field, within this divine cosmos. Abba. Abba. Handing it over with the Ab, calling it back to you with the Ba. Abba. Abba. Unburdening everything off of this heart. Abba. Abba. Loku. Staying right there. I want you to send your ba out. Send it perhaps like the bird. To bring back to you even more fully now, a vision, a symbol, an anchor of who and what you really are. You're decadent and divine. Every thought you have creates reality. The universe is conscious and alive. No one like you has ever existed. And the thing you get to do is the coolest fucking thing in all the universe. And again, forward and back, sending that ba out into the universe to realign with the truth of you and bringing all of it back home to heart with every breath. Good. And stop pulling it all back in. I want you to come to center. Whatever that center looks like, wherever that is in your body. This is an Egyptian concept called Tek. It's kind of one of my favorites right now. Because if you look at the scales of Ma'at, the scales of Libra, there are scales. You don't want to be on either side of the scales. You want to be the fucking thing in the center holding the scales. That's Tek. The thing that can survive within the polarity, within duality, within these constant forces. We'll be working on that. Temple Teachings Week number 2. You want to be center and neutral. Because, thank you. That's very sweet. They say that you just refed to your heart all of the truth and all of the love of what you already are. You don't need to keep wishing and dreaming for it. You need to stay centered, so whenever you need to move in the direction where your dreams and wishes are, you have the courage and the ability to do so. To sit within this Tek is the most potent power. Loku no kuku. When you can sit within the tech, you also have an understanding that everything is exactly perfect as it is. Cool. Abtek basa. As I was getting this ready last night, Abtek basa. Abtek basa. Just chanting that a little bit, and then we're going to go into our longer journey. Abtek basa. Abtek basa. And it's funny, I can't find anywhere what Abtek basa means. I have my own understanding, but they were pretty clear. Doesn't matter. It was the sound that came for this equinox for us. So as you get into the sound, Abtek basa is the combination and the holding of everything we're doing today. Because it brings it back into form, it brings it back into neutrality. Abtek basa. Abtek basa. Abtek basa. Abtek basa. I'm going to get some music going. We're going to go into a longer activation that weaves together everything we've done today. So just allowing yourself to close your eyes and receive, maybe even more deeply than you have. And letting all of these concepts just leave your mind. We turned them on, we gave the brain some context. You may choose to place your hands on your heart for this first portion. Just to feel your heart exactly as it is. Feel your own heartbeat. Notice what weighs on your beautiful heart. Ob. 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 Notice if there's constriction. Ob. The flow of light and energy. Ob. 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 Restore it to the light. Ob. 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 Noticing and hearing in this moment anything your heart wants to share with you. Ob. 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 And thanking your heart, Ob, for beating only for you. Ob. For its endurance and courage. Ob. Ob. For its persistence and devotion to you. Ob. 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 To this heartbeat that is as unique as your soul. Ob. 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 As we move into our Abba. 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 Weaving forward and backward through time and space. Abba. 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 Recognizing the pause to hand over what's weighing on your heart. To give back to the universe. To give back to the cosmos. anything you've been carrying. Abba. 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 Oh, and watch your light expand throughout all of the universe, and more that you let go. Abba. 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 I want us to pause now in the void. Feeling those cosmic winds blow through you. Blowing you raw. Releasing from you all density, all intensity, all perceptions, all limitations. Ba, calling in Ba again. Ba. Rising back in. This aspect of soul who remembers everything. Abba. 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 Bringing it into your body there at center point, raising it into the tech. Abtek basa. Abtek basa. Abtek basa. Abtek basa. Focusing on your heart, making yourself ready to come home. Coming home means breaking through to the perfection that already exists. Abtek basa. Abtek basa. Woo! Abtek basa. 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 Coming back into the stillness now. Recognizing the new quality of this open heart. Recommitting to keeping it light, keeping it spacious, keeping it radiant. Feeling refueled with your divinity. When you align with that truth of your divinity, the energy available to you is infinite. Infuse now within your heart, within your Ab, the memories of the Ba, your deepest desires and your cleanest truth. Recommit to the expression of this soul. Command this in your field now. Remember that as creator, you tell reality what it is. Abtek basa. Abtek basa. Abtek basa. Abtek basa. Abtek basa. Feel your heart field expand now, not just with the openness, but with the reverberation of joy, a song of celebration at knowing what it is. For this true heart is cosmic. This true heart remembers that everything is alive, that we live in a connected universe that loves us. Remembers that every situation, every opportunity is given to us to remember that divine truth. And receiving any other messages that you may need from your heart. Tek Basa, anchoring in, celebrating with certainty. Tek Basa, Tek Basa, Tek Basa. As you give yourself permission to come right back to you here now. Tek Basa. One of the biggest points they wanted to make sure that we drove home today was reminding you that you are creator. You are the dreamers of this reality. Oh, yes. Command them and call this experience to you. Because we have been told what reality is for fucking long enough. I think it's time that we tell reality what it actually is. And this is a little of the energy that's coming through, specifically for this equinox. And recognizing those equinoxes carry us through to the next one. So for me, it almost feels like I'm taking a deep breath as I go into winter and restoring myself with enough life force, energy, memory of what I am to be able to make it to the next juncture. For some, that's February 2nd. I usually find I need to wait all the way until springtime, till we're actually in the spring again. And then Beltane, the light begins to come back. But this, at least in our hemisphere, is a little of what we're gearing up for. A season that could look a little uncertain. A season that could be defined by a lot of outside authorities of what the fuck is going on. I know who I am. I know what I am. I know how I serve. Let me fucking tell you what reality is here. Let me show you how to delight and dance in it. They wanted to talk about the Gaia theorem. So if you don't know the Gaia theorem, I just want to drop it in here a little bit. The Gaia theorem was found by physicists, I do believe. Is that a word? Physicists? Is that what they're called? I don't know. Okay, whatever. Science-y stuff. But the Gaia theorem found that the earth never gets too hot. It will always balance itself back out. The waters never get too salty. It always balances itself back out. The sun will never scorch us. It balances itself back out. There is this sweet little rhythm that has been documented for thousands of years that the earth is always here to protect us. She's never allowed us to get to a place where we are all going extinct. We're in conscious contact with a loving universe. And the more of us who can remember our creative being, our divine truth, We forgot how powerful we were. Oh my god, you guys reminded us that we were like little pieces of shit back there. Wow, was that some collective punishment? Okay, thanks so much. I forgot for a second. It's cool. I remember now. You better fucking look out. And the more of us who begin to remember in these ways, that is not done with defiance. It is not done with any the playfulness. I think that's where we're gonna have the most fun with it, right? Like, uh-huh, uh-huh. When we can come from that open heart, because this is an open-hearted revolution that we are in right now. And everything in the cosmos, everything in the universe, well, they have just been waiting for us to do this. So this is not the idea of being rescued. This is the idea of like, oh wait, I forgot. I don't need to be saved. I forgot how fucking powerful I was. You guys made me forget for a minute. I let myself forget. And in that process, I come back stronger. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is there some Kelly Clarkson song that should go right there? I think so. Is it Kelly Clarkson? I don't know. Let's just not. Commanding is part of the word we want you to recognize. It's not a demand, but it's, I know what this is in here. And when you know and you recognize yourself as a divine being, the universe is like, oh, yeah, go to that one. That one seems to know what's going on here. Your wish is my command. Have you heard that before? And your wish is not the thing that you want. The wish is the thing that you already are. You call to you the things that you want, so it's easier to be what you already are. Did that make sense? It's so good. It's so, so good. Likino cuckoo. Thanks. Let me just see if there's anything else that wants to be shared for that. No, Equinox transmission is good for now. Being able to do this again on the 22nd would be helpful. It doesn't need to be any specific time of day, but when you can go into it and maybe even dive in a little more deeply with what is it that's been burdening your heart and where is it that that ba comes back in to remind you what you are. Doing that consciously at a mental level, because mental is the fucking game out there, in case you haven't noticed. We're just getting confused with thoughts and ideas and fears. It's all mental shit out there. When we can anchor back to here, we come back into power. Cool. Cool. Likino cuckoo. So what's coming up next, and we will have a little bit of time for Q&A today because my day has shifted a bit, but we've got the temple teachings at week 2. God, that's been juicy. That's coming up on Wednesday because we've got a lot going on this week. We will be doing our Q&A on the 27th, and we're kind of focusing a little bit on the Dr. Carmen podcast. If you haven't had a chance to listen, it is there and available for you. You've got an extra 30 minutes. So if you're like, what the fuck are they talking? Cool. Why don't you come on the 27th and we'll dissect some of that if you want. And Cosmic Mama podcast, I've got another solo cast coming out this week, and then one with Catherine Skaggs and more people lined up. So I love Virgo. I love Virgo energy. Like, I get so much shit done, and it feels really good to be able to share it with you. Thanks. And then my brain freaked out and they're like, why don't you save it for like February when you don't want to do shit? And I'm like, well, no, I'm pretty I can't actually hold on to anything until February. I'm too excited. And this is where I show up and I spurt out a lot of at once because I get excited because I can't hold it. Heleki no cuckoo. Hayao no se. Thanks for being here. Happy Equinox.